Hi, I'm Ruth Mottershead. I'm the Creative Director here at Little Green, and I'm really looking forward to telling you all today a little bit about our new colour card, Sweet Treats. Now, as the name suggests, Sweet Treats, this card is inspired by desserts and sugary snacks. The colour card itself has 9 colours in total, one of them which we all know and love, chocolate colour, and 8 new colours. And 4 of these colours are inspired by the National Trust. We've seen a shift of colour through the ages, all the way from magnolia through to grey, which we launched in 2013, and then to our stone card, which we launched back in 2021, so a couple of years ago. And then since then, obviously that sort of moved from your cooler greys to your warm greys to your warm stones. This has led to kind of natural progression towards these kinds of colours. These are earthy colours, they're warm colours, they're colours that are perfect for cosy environments, but they're also natural. And during COVID, what we saw was a demand for colours that feel warmth and bring warmth into the home, bring natural tones inside, and this really does that. All of these colours can be used as neutral tones. I would call these new neutrals, and the idea is that you can use all of them as an alternative to white, to stone, to grey. You can colour drench with them, paint your walls, your woodwork, your ceiling the same colour, or indeed you can just use one as an accent colour as you wish. They're very, very versatile tones. The collection contains a range of honeys, burnt caramels and chocolate colours, and I often think that browns are seen as outdated or unusable, but actually I hope this card proves that these colours are for contemporary homes and are very trendy. The first column of colours are these honey tones, and you can see hopefully that these are based on yellow ochre, so they all have that lovely warm cosy yellow undertone to them. And the lightest of these is this beautiful Madeleine. Now Madeleine is calm, it's tranquil, it's soft, it's elegant, it's perfect for, well, anywhere really. Hallways, bedrooms, kitchens. Although this is a soft colour, it's actually bursting with energy. And I find with strong yellows like this, it's best to pair them with whites. Perfect whites to go with Madeleine are whites that have that yellow base to them. So whites like stock, linen wash, shirting, or indeed silent white. And you can see the silent whites colour scales work perfectly with this because they have that really warm undertone, nice and soft and elegantly combined. If you wanted to choose something a little bit stronger to pair with Madeleine, why not try Bassoon? Or our new colour, Bombolone, and you could use this on woodwork. The next tone in the honey column is gorgeous Bombolone, and as you can see, it's slightly darker than the Madeleine. Now these aren't a colour scale in the sense that they're not made using the same pigments but just different strengths, but obviously they do have a similar pigment in them. Again, this is elegant, it's sophisticated, it can be used all over, and actually if you're looking to use yellow, Bombolone is the perfect tones to use, mainly because it's muted and it can be used in great expanse. Bombolone should be combined with warm neutrals, a little bit like the Madeleine. Again, it's that really nice sort of gold mid-honey tone. So combine it with silent white, with stock, again with linen wash, any of those neutrals that have that yellow undertone to it. You can see here that stock looks particularly fresh with Bombolone, or you could even use Madeleine just to create a sort of similar tone but a lighter version of the Bombolone. They work really nicely together. If you wanted something a little bit more contrasting, why not try Silt, kind of lovely grey-brown tone, again quite warm. Or something more complementary and contrasting, Woad or Marine Blue, both work really nicely with this colour. This is Galette, and Galette is one of our National Trust colours. And this colour was actually found in Bury St Edmunds at the Theatre Royal, and it was found on the front door there. It's the strongest of our honey tones. It's rich, it's indulgent, it's lovely and warm. And actually, if you colour drench your room in this, you'll really get that lovely sort of sophisticated, cosy feeling. Galette can be combined perfectly with warm woods like oak or quarry tiles even. Those really lovely sort of Victorian terracotta tiles will work perfectly with these honey tones. I always think with strong honey tones like this, it's best to either tie them with neutrals or tie them with bright, bold yellows. So in this case, I have Mr. David here, which will actually really make the colour pop if you use the Mr. David in a smaller proportion. Or if you're not feeling quite so adventurous, then go for yellow pink. It's more of a muted yellow, but you can see they just work together perfectly. The middle column on the card are these glorious burnt caramels, and as you can see, they have that real rich pinky warmth to them. They have umber in, they also have red oxide in them, and you can see that gives them that really lovely pinky colour. The first colour of the burnt caramels is this really gorgeous split pink. And it's quite muted in its feel, so it's a really good alternative to neutral. And this one is actually a National Trust colour, so it was found at Wimpole Hall on the staircase. It's perfect also for a bedroom or a lounge or a really restful interior. It just makes me feel calm looking at this colour. So colours to go with this would be neutrals like China Clay. So China Clay obviously has that pink undertone to it, so it just works fantastically with this colour. Or if you wanted to go a bit bolder with it, you could go for an off green black or an off blue black for real sophistication, like obsidian green, for example. You could see that on one wall and then split pink on the adjacent wall, a really smart interior. Or you could go for one of the blues like Basalt or Dock Blue, and I think the blue and pink combination works very, very effectively and would be very impactful in an interior. This is Affogato, a really rich, more orangey colour actually than the split pink here. But as you can see, these colours work really beautifully together. It's bold, but it's still neutral. Again, it's easy to use in lots of different locations. It works really well with dark furniture. As well as going with neutrals like slate lime or rolling fog, it also works fantastically with contrasting colours and off blacks like lamp black, for example. Finally, in the burnt caramels, this is muscovado, a key ingredient in artisan bakery. And this one really is a punchy tone, a move on from the very trendy terracotta, but much more easy to use than terracotta. And I would say this really does pack a punch on its own. And actually, you can tie this very nicely with any of the slate lime colour scales. And actually, these really will make that colour pop even further. The last three colours in the collection are the chocolate tones, and hopefully you can see the warmth within them, and they're all based on red oxide, which gives them that lovely kind of cosy, comforting, warm feel. So we have the two rich, deeper shades here, ganache and chocolate colour, and then this lighter, more pinky tone mochi. Now this is mochi. It's soft, it's elegant, it's beautiful, it can be used on one or two walls or indeed in an entire room. Now this is a National Trust colour. It was found in Calc Abbey in Derbyshire, and it was used in the decorations and cameos in the dining room. And the property was recently restored in this specific colour. So some colour pairings for this, we have shirting, which is a really lovely bright white, and this will make a really nice classical scheme, and you could put the shirting on your ceiling or skirting. If you want something a little bit softer, why not try the slate lime colour scales? Obviously slate lime is a mineral white, it's more neutral, so it just have that little bit more of a softer feel to it. And then finally, scullery. If you want something a little bit darker, a bit more contemporary, why not put scullery on your skirting or indeed your ceiling. And this colour was found alongside pinks, greys and greens, so any of those kinds of tones will work really well with mochi. This is ganache. It's rich, it's deep, it's dark, it's sumptuous, it has that real warmth to it, and that's from that red oxide base that I talked about earlier. Now, this is a National Trust colour. It was found at Blickling Hall in Norfolk, and it was one of several colours found in a painted ceiling. Now, it was boarded up in the early 20th century and found about 100 years later. Now, colours to go with ganache, well, it would work really well on its own, so you could easily colour drench your space in this, whether it be your ceiling, your skirting and your walls, or you could tie it even with a deeper colour, like chocolate colour for a contemporary scheme, on your woodwork or indeed your ceiling.
Or if you wanted something a little bit lighter, a little bit more neutral, why not try the lovely rolling fog and use the ganache as more of an accent tone. You could easily colour drench an entire room in chocolate colour, so paint your walls, your woodwork, your ceiling in this tone and you'll get real sort of maximum impact and drama. And what's lovely about this is that it's not a pure black, it's a really nice off brown black, so it'll create a lovely, cosy, intimate environment. If you wanted to add an accent colour to chocolate, why not use something like marigold? And this just makes the scheme a little bit more fun and a little bit more playful. Or you could go for something equally as bright like Orange Aurora, but just has that little bit more of a pinky undertone to it, but still ties really well with the warmth of the undertone of the chocolate. Or you could use this as a trim. It would be really lovely smart trim on a skirting board or any woodwork for that matter, doors or architraves. And you could easily tie this with something a little bit more trendy, like Tuscan red here, lovely sort of trend-led terracotta, or indeed a nice historical red like Arras, and you can see those undertones really work well together. Sweet Treats is launching on the 18th September and you will be receiving a Stockist pack shortly. There is a display poster in the pack and that has all the different colours on, and you can put that in your window or indeed within your store. You'll also be receiving a flat pack unit which holds the colour cards and the brochures, and you can pop this up on top of your display unit. We also have a selection of recipes for some of the sweet snacks within the card, and you can find these at www.littlegreen.com/recipes. Thank you so much for listening, and we do hope you enjoy the Sweet Treats collection.